¿Qué vemos hoy? Vamos a poner esto por abajo. Desde el Wick. Desde el Wick me gustaría ver si podemos caer desde esta zona. Tomando previous Wick High. Como estamos haciendo. Y estamos cayendo, ¿no? Abajo tenemos el New Wick Opening Up. El de ahora. Sí. Obviamente el alcista tiene Order Block y tiene cosa. New Wick Opening Up para apoyarse. Pero ¿qué vemos? Bueno, con el SMT cambia todo. Mira, acá hay SMT arriba. Tenemos un Civi, invertido un bici, ¿no? Así que podemos verlo caer. ¿Cuál es el problema? El problema es que ya tomamos liquidez arriba y tomamos liquidez abajo. O sea, no es... Lo voy a dibujar, lo voy a anotar. Risk parameter 05, don't trade. Hoy es un día para no tradear. Es lo que yo opino, ¿verdad? Tengo el paper trading activado, no sé por qué. Ahí va. Ok, 15 minutos. ¿Qué tenemos? No tenemos un punto cual apuntar, pero sí tenemos estos equal lows de acá abajo. Que aparte fallamos al New Week Opening Up. Así que me gustaría ver desde esta zona que tenemos Minor Bullseye Liquidity y un CB. A ver si lo podemos mandar abajo. Eso es lo que estoy viendo. No voy a buscar otra cosa. Ok, vamos a ver. Un minutito para que arranque. Vamos a poner una musiquita de chill. Hasta hablando de ICT. Tiene la Wizard Liquidity apuntada de 24. 4.21. No tiene vías. Ah, no sé si lo tengo que... a ver, propiedades.
Kind of like convey. It promotes the idea of uncertainty and fear.
La realidad es que este
So the
low se
markets
ve
have
bien
been
parado,
selling
se ven
off
bastante
a couple times
firmes.
since yesterday. So it kind of, in my opinion, it kind of feels like baited
Changing state,
bear
mira.
traps. So I wouldn't be surprised if they send it higher this morning. I'm not saying that's my bias. I want you to understand that I'm completely neutral this morning. But if you had a gun to my head and said, ICT, what do you think they're going to try to do?
Mira.
It looks like everybody has been primed to go, bearish. A little rotation there. So now we have the opening range.
Ok, ya tomamos la
Okay,
zona
so
que
consequent
quería.
encroachment traded to
Rápido.
immediately. Open portion here still. This live stream, pardon me, this live stream is probably not going to be all that helpful in terms of teaching. Like I said, I'm just observing with you live, more or less an intel type thing. I'm trying to get a feel for what they may or may not do. And sometimes that's the best thing for you to do. If you have trepidation, uncertainty, concern, you have doubts, and let's just be honest, say you're fearful of the volatility that may come into a marketplace. It's not foolishness. It's not cowardice for you to stay on the sidelines and just observe. I'm not, I'm not trying to be macho man, okay? Because we traded during this, and don't be scared, bro. You're trying to protect your money. All right, so we have consequent encroachment hit here. Minor sell sides right below this low here. If it wanted to go lower, going below this should accelerate speed to get below this low here. For nothing in here is some. It's nothing here for me. If I was trading with my live accounts, I would not touch it yet. Quick look at MES real quick. SMT divergence there. I don't want to put too much weight on that this morning because of the tone of the market, what they're planning or may or may not do tonight. SMT divergence there. So NQ went to its opening range gap, consequent encroachment.
Ahora sí vamos a
A
dar
little
mi
foolery going on
trading
right here.
plan. Bien claro, más o menos. Liquidez.
So far, we
30 toma
opened
liquidez contraria.
at 9:30, ran minor buy side here, left this little short-term high in place. We have yet to take this sell side or this sell side. Weird gaps in my price feed here. Kind of see everyone's really not wanting to participate this morning. We've taken Buy side only. Sell side has not been taken at all yet. I'm watching this little area in here.
Esto sería como un shift.
If price has difficulty getting above that, that could be a catalyst to send this down just to take the sell side here. And it could accelerate down below here after that. Far lackadaisical price action, no real conviction one way or the other. Mm. To opening price 930. This wick here, half of that would be right about there. I'm just rough eyeballing it because I got a lot of lines here.
Bueno, acá tenemos este orden, loco.
So again, think about what they've done so far. The market sold off several times yesterday and overnight. We have potential major conflict unfolding tonight, or let's say it this way, a increased measure of military operation. Let's call it that. I'm trying to be very careful on what I say. The
Represented.
with that looming, it builds in a bearish sentiment. You would think it would be bearish, and they sent it
Big
out here
36.
first. So they took this short-term high out. They still have yet to take any sell side of any importance. This wick has held the down pressure, if you want to call it that, right? The selling pressure. They've held it off and didn't take that low out. So far, we're still inside the range defined by this candlestick's low and that candlestick's high. My mind is weighing this out like this. Okay, if sentiment's been engineered bearish because of
Mira,
this
consequent
likely or
encroachment.
may or not happen tonight, if that bearish sentiment is what they engineered, then this run here would have stopped out anyone that's already short, but they haven't taken any sell side yet. And that to me is a little perplexing because I would prefer it would have done the buy side here, then take the sell side, and then come railroading back over top of this. But they haven't even done that yet. So it's a very difficult read this morning because of that. Shorting weakness, in other words, a breakout below these lows here, that would be a retail perspective. You know, looking for it to break lower with sentiment expectation that's going to be bad. The market should go down because we're going to supposedly quote unquote destroy Iran all in 4 hours, they say. That's pretty harsh language. So it seems like they're really trying to sell this whole thing. And because they took the buy side first, I still think that it's likely to get below here and tag that, even if it wants to go higher. If it wants to go lower, then obviously it goes without saying. So what I'm saying is at this very moment, unless it can trade above on a body basis, half of this candlestick's wick, the weight of it is sell side and sell side. what I'm trying to explain to you is like it's narrative. Okay, building a narrative using what an economic calendar would influence, what geopolitical events around the world
Tomamos liquidez
may
contraria.
indicate. Um,
Liquidity sweep, no.
Trying to
Failure
view it
swing,
from
sí.
what a retail trader
IFBG,
would
sí.
see it
Change in state, sí.
as through fear and greed, and then
Failure
looking at
swing,
where we're at. What did
IFBG,
they take first?
change in
Buy
state.
side they took first. Okay, so they have taken no sell side at all on a day when they've engineered bearishness because of all the stuff that's supposed to take place, in less than less than 11 hours from now. So far, zero setups that would have been taken by me at all. Nothing.
Mm. Aparte, ¿qué vemos?
Have to
Sell
have
side, sell side, sell side, sell
protocols
side,
and
sell
things to
side.
keep you
Ok,
from taking action.
no tomamos sell
If you
side
don't do that, you're going to be left to
y
your own
subimos
emotions,
dejando un bici.
the enticement of
Para porque ahí
chasing
sí me
price.
está volviendo loco. Sell side, sell side. No tomamos sell side y subimos dejando un bici. ¿Qué es esto? Puede ser mucha fuerza alcista, pero no lo es porque lo invirtió rápidamente en las primeras dos velas. O sea, ¿qué quiere decir? Que esto era un rally. ¿Para hacer qué? Probablemente va a ser un failure swing y caer. Eso es lo que estoy viendo yo. Recién tomamos la primer nivel de sell side. Mirá. Ahora ya cambiamos el bias. Estamos. Vamos a hacerlo más grande de 32. Ahí va. Tenemos. Ese es el orden flow alcista, que sería verde. Estoy comprendiendo el mercado, ¿eh? Trading paper trading, vamos a ver. Estamos con higher highs y higher lows, ¿no? Ok. ¿Esto qué es? Este es azul. ¿Qué significa el azul en mi contexto? Significa cuidado, alerta. ¿Alerta por qué? Porque deberíamos hacer un higher high. Como también este fue azul, ¿no? Si rompía el low, este se convertía en negativo. Y ahora este es azul. ¿Por qué es azul? Porque puede ser un equity grab o puede ser el protagonista de un cambio en estructura. Ahora esperamos que este hike se respete y que empiece. Eso es lo que esperamos. ¿Estamos en lo correcto? Azul rompió y ahora probablemente este sea rojito. Que vamos a dejarlo donde yo lo dejé, ¿no? Y vamos a hacer highlighter, highlighter. Lo vamos a agregar acá. Ahí va. Eso es lo que tengo en cuenta para entender el contexto, ¿no? De hacia dónde nos vamos. Vamos a ver qué dice ICT.
Terrible drawdown and blown accounts. We were able to get below that little short-term low there, but I would have preferred it to be a little bit more animated. Should have did like that. I should have done that first to take that sell side, and then we'll see if it has any interest to explore that sell side there. This one here is a little bit more prominent. So, so far we've taken a
Ok.
buy side and a sell
Tenemos
side.
este
Buy
order
side's
block.
taken
Lo
first.
vamos a poner a ver.
So think about it like this: sentiment engineered bearish because of the wartime stuff that they beat in the
Tenemos
drums,
SMT
saying
arriba.
they're going to destroy an entire country in 4 hours. the market would look at that through the
Ahí va,
retail
cerramos
lens
abajo
as, oh wow, this is probably going to be
del
bearish
order
for the
block.
market.
Así que
That's
ya estamos
scary. Let me take
preparados para
myself
acá.
out of the risk. They take the stops for anyone that's short by running that high here. Anyone that wants to fade that idea and wants to buy strength or
¿Y
buy a
por qué me gusta
breakout,
también apuntar estos
they are
lows?
tracked
Porque
long here.
tenemos
So where
equal
do they
low de
get stopped
15
out?
minutos.
Stop loss here.
Obviamente no
So
me
now
gusta que
market's
hayamos tomado
neutral.
esta liquidez.
So now it's more prone to show you the real move. They cleared the board on both sides. That's narrative.
Acá tenemos equal lows.
Key is knowing what you're looking for, a nice strong one-sided draw. When the
Me
narrative's
gustaría que
clear to
esta
you,
sell
you can
side,
see them taking the opposite side of the
a ver si es
market out,
capaz de
unseating them,
mandarlo hacia
and then you
abajo.
can watch your price run take off. Here, it's a little bit more challenging.
Como decía ICT,
So I guess I was wrong when I said you
y
probably wouldn't learn too
vi
much
el otro
today.
día un video de, no me acuerdo, de Umar
You
creo,
didn't
no
get
sé
what I
qué,
just said. It's probably
de
because you're
que,
so new
por
and it
ejemplo,
seems Greek,
¿no?
seems like a different language to you.
Acá,
But for the
venimos
folks been around
cayendo,
for a while, I'm sure that was helpful to you.
rompemos estructura, ¿no? ¿Cuál es el responsable de romper la estructura? Este order block. Por eso lo volvemos a retestear acá. Interesante lo que dijo. Retestamos también el order block.
Now imagine you got to your charts late this morning. Okay, you overslept. Turn on your computer, pull up your charts, and you're looking at this price action right now. What do you see? Do you see something that says, I should be trading right now?
No, I
Or
don't be
do
trading
you
right now.
feel like the brakes are being pushed and saying, you know what, let me see what this is doing first? If you have a little bit of self-control and a little bit time in the charts, nothing here says, I got to get in right now.
Ahí va. Break even.
Having very little short-term expectations where you think the market may go and what they may or may not do in price action, that's not enough to trade in an environment like this. The worst thing you can do is, as an inexperienced student or inexperienced trader, is to look at this and say, well, what happens if it goes down there and takes this low out and accelerates and goes lower and takes that low out? You know, you missed that move and you thought it was going to happen. You know, that you're just wasting and missing a move. That's what a neophyte, someone brand new, that's the perspective they have, because you're forcing this false sense of belief that this is the only setup that's ever going to form.
A veces
Like
un
this is the
CV
last
acá
trade
de
in your career
continuación.
and you haven't even started your career yet. That's the fallacy of, you know, learning this stuff. In the beginning, you feel like you got to do it right now, right away, and you want to see proof of it in your own hands. That is not something that's true. You don't need to see it in your own hands real quick. You need to learn how to protect yourself. You have to learn what it is that's going to hurt you. So we already took out that little low there only by a tick or so. Let's see what that low is on that candlestick. 177.5. And this one is 176.5. So it went down one handle there.
Me hubiese gustado que sea en la cuenta este trade, la verdad. Pero bueno.
Majority of your work when you're first starting out, if you're working with a model, before you actually try to implement the model, what you're seeing me do here yesterday and today, um, that's what you're supposed to be doing only. You're not trying to get into a trade. You're trying to read price action, get a feel for what it's likely to do,
Acá hay
what
otro
levels
reentry.
or PD arrays, what price levels, and what time elements, what kind of like promotes the idea that the market should go in a direction that's foreseeable, predictable, and getting real comfortable with the uncertainty of not knowing for sure in the beginning. Because you knowing what you're looking for That's a skill set that you're going to have to develop in your own hands. No one can transfer that information. No teacher can do that. I can't do it. No other teacher, no other mentor, nobody, anybody that makes a claim that they promise that they're going to turn you into a profitable trader, they're a liar because no one can promise that. No one can do that because you bring to this whole endeavor your own shortcomings, your impatience, your inability to focus, your inability to follow rules. By far and large, humans are terrible at doing that. No matter what culture you come from, following rules is generally a very hard thing to do. And if you don't believe me,
Me gusta que este es el
look at the
current New Week
signpost
Opening
that
Up
you're driving
también.
by every day. You're never following that. You're always going faster. So we had a little bit of a gap in here. Faded into it there. If it wants this, it needs to do it in the next two candles.
No, hanging fruit, amigo. Tienen delay
It's
el
a
de
short
ICT.
term low out here. If I were Phil, I would do it just like this and not take that low. It took this one here. See that? Questions all the time. And I'll get an email, or for people that are very intrusive, that have my phone number and they send me text messages. Usually they only get a chance to do that one time, and then I block their phone number. Um, you don't have my permission to do that, by the way. It's a little intrusive. It's kind of disrespectful too. Um, but they'll ask questions. Today, you did this, you did that. What would you call today's level of difficulty? 10 being extremely hard and one being very easy. Today, I would call this about an 8, only because it requires a whole lot of understanding of what tends to happen, what can happen, what shouldn't happen, that type of stuff. It's a very experience driven perspective. It's not like a book skill that you can collect from reading somebody's works or watching someone do a live stream. You have to do it in your own hands. You have to feel that uncertainty. You have to feel it and know what it causes you to experience. Feeling missing out, angry if you do, if you look at something you think it should do something in particular detail and it does the opposite of that, or it doesn't do anything at all, just stays stagnant and consolidates. As a new trader or as a developing student of the market, you don't have any of those skills, and no one really teaches that. They don't really push that hard, and I try to do my best to kind of like cultivate that in my students, because that was like the biggest thing for me when I was coming up. I wanted to take away those fearful thoughts, that uncertainty. I needed to know. Like I needed to know. It's not just I want to be right. I needed to know, and because of all of the difficulty that comes with trading, you're combating your internal demons, and the guy that's part of you, or the gal that's part of you, that derails yourself because you somehow you feel like you don't deserve something in the market in terms of success.
Ok.
You'll self sabotage, and you don't even realize that is there. See, like I said, if I was Phil, I would have stopped it right there. And there you go. It's almost like I think like that guy, isn't it crazy? But developing the skill set of having anticipatory price action skills, of reading what should and should not happen, how certain PD arrays are going to support an idea, a narrative, where price may go, what it shouldn't do, what is permissible,
2.5.
what can price do, and it still look ugly, but it can still work out, in the long run. when I say long run, it means for the price run you're expecting. It doesn't mean like weeks and months. But in the final few minutes here, I just want to recap
Este
what
change
I
in
was
state.
outlining here
Igual
so
no
that we
tomó
go away with
liquidez,
the
pero
right lesson, I guess, if you will. I indicated I had a neutral bias this morning. Okay. I believed that they would run it higher because of the engineered sentiment. We had that run here, right from Jump Street. It took a minor buy side there. Got to consequent encouragement of the opening range gap for regular trading hours today. That's regular trading hours, opening range gap high. I'll show you the regular trading hours chart so that we can see it. So here's regular trading hours, opening range gap high. That's the settlement yesterday at 4:14 p.m. Eastern time, and then 9:30 opening
este
price
high
this
debería
morning.
estar cubierto.
That's regular trading hours, opening range gap low. Why is it low? Because it's lower than where we settled yesterday at 4:14 p.m. Eastern time. So this is a discount gap. The market opens up immediately in one candlestick, shoots up, and goes to that
Ya
70% likelihood
con esta
of gapping
vela
up. It does it real quick.
no me
Okay.
gustaría volver a esta zona.
Goes a little bit above it, but fails to get to the
Si
next
tuviese
opposite
un
level.
trade
So is
abierto,
that bullish or bearish?
igualmente estoy cubierto en break-even, ¿no?
It's not bullish.
Pero
So the market
bajaría mi
drops
stop
back
acá,
down
para
into
aunque
the
sea ganar
range
algo.
defined by that first minute, and
¿Por
then
qué?
goes a little bit lower. And now we start focusing on yesterday's
Sí, igual
regular trading
el
hours opening
patrón
range gap.
bajista, ¿eh?
So what we have done here, from this point here to that point, that's today's regular trading hours
Acá
opening range gap.
y acá.
Yesterday's regular trading hours opening range gap is all of these levels here. This being the high of
Esto
it,
puede ser un reclaimed
that being the
CB.
low of it. So
Oh,
with that said, let's
terrible.
go back into electronic trading hours and wrap this stream up.
Oh my god.
This punch higher, and then I said, okay, so they took buy side, and I gave you minor sell side, and then the more prominent sell side down here, not the blue one. I made that up as we went to it. I said that if I were Phil, I would stop there and then retrace it pretty deep. This is still in play. This can still get swiped.
Perfectly,
Oh,
amigo.
excuse me. So they took buy side first on a day that it's engineered bearish. So anyone that's short here or going into the day, they get stopped out. Then breakout artists, okay, that want to be a buyer, they're stopped out with the market running down here.
¿Ves? Si hubiésemos entrado en
This
este otro
sell
block,
side and this
tendríamos
sell
que
side
mantener nuestro stop
is
acá
what's
arriba.
left in play. So they took both sides of the market out first, taking the buyers on a breakout into the market to crush them and unseat those that want to sell short with that bear sentiment. So this run here, it it kind of like cancels the idea that anyone that wants to be short, they don't get to participate in the drop. Using yesterday's regular trading hours opening range gap, and here we had this wick stop just above it. That's normal, and then we closed down. The next couple bodies here only stayed at the
Tu
low of
gran
yesterday's regular trading hours opening range gap low. Even though we
amor
traded up like this was inside of
puedo
this wick. So this wick was holding off
sentir
anything
tu
going higher while the sell side here was still in play. After they canceled anyone that's already short with this run here and trapped traders on a breakout trying to buy that run above here, thinking
Esto
with
es
that strength or
leer
buying
el
strength.
mercado o leer la
Failure
estructura
to
del
get
mercado
to regular trading
básicamente. O
hours
sea, no es
opening range
tan...
gap low
Yo creo que es
here
algo que hacemos siempre que
and
ver
resistance
cuando
striking
rompe
distance
la
and
estructura que
broke
venía
back to
trayendo,
that near
cuando empieza a
striking distance
retestear.
for that low right there. There's a lot of wicks in here.
Yeah, a lot of wicks. Yo creo que puede caer
That kind of
más
makes it
abajo.
muddy. It still can do it, but it's just it's a harder read for a brand new
Puede caer
student.
tranquilamente a esta zona. Y la vamos a marcar así, mira.
If you're not able to look for these types of things and see it pan out pretty consistent, that doesn't mean every day you got to be right about what you think it may do and where it's drawing to. But if you don't have at least 2 months of consistency being able to just do this without any trades, no demo trading, no paper trading, no prop firm evaluation, no challenges, okay? If you don't do that, you're the reason why you don't know how to trade and why my concepts are not working in your own hands. There's your run to the sell side.
Ahí va.
Okay. So again, gun to my head, I told you what I think it would do. No setups, no trades, just reading the tape. Look at the title of the live stream. This is what you're supposed to be doing as a new student. If you can't do these types of things, or if you're scared to death, even when you're trading a demo, because you think, and it's a true thing. It's weird how students many times they'll contact me and they'll say, I get so nervous, and I'm even in a paper trading account because you're placing so much emphasis on being right when you don't have any skill set to base it on. So you're expecting to win the lottery every single day of your life. That's what you're doing. That's the equivalent. You're trying to hit the Mega Million or the Powerball every single day it's available to be played. And that's not realistic. You have no experience. You have no baseline to base on what you think a model should deliver and what price should be doing because you haven't done this skill set of managing where your expectations should be, looking for it. Okay. So hopefully you found something in this today that was helpful. Um, if not, I apologize. I was given what we see here. This is
Escucha,
all I could work with. So until I talk to
mirem-
you next time,
miremos esto.
wish you good luck and good trading.
Esto es la base, yo creo, del trading. Rompió este puede ser el high que rompe estructura, rompió estructura. Acá ya tenemos un entry. Tenemos un safe top loss. Solamente hay que dejarlo correr. Y esto hay que acomodarlo, mira. Tac, casi perfecto. Uy, ahí va, mira. Y puede seguir cayendo. Tenemos bastante más por abajo. Pero un low hanging fruit me parece correcto. Ok, buen trade. Y creo que ya estamos por hoy.